Hi, I'm Tisha,
I'm Lauren.
and this is the Open Booked Podcast. Today we are talking about Colleen Hoover's Verity.
Whoop, whoop.
Yes.
We have some business before we get into that. Well, some other, not business really, things to talk about. We had a giveaway winner.
Yes. Her name is Katie, but her Instagram handle is Bookworm with a Beer Fridge, and I love that freaking handle.
I love it. Very creative. So we're shipping that out today. She won this book, special edition, and then the goodies in Tisha's hand over there.
Yeah, and I might just find some other little random things to throw in there for her, but she gets a bookmark and sticker from the Bookworm box, and then a reading journal.
Yeah, I might have a couple more bookmarks too. As this episode airs, there will be, as of right now, there's 1 week left. But by the time this airs, there will be 2 days left in our next giveaway, which is celebrating us hitting 2,000 followers on Instagram.
Yeah.
So that's a huge accomplishment in such a short amount of time. We're giving away a book off of your wish list, or two, depending on the price of the book, up to $25. Hey, you got the little $6.99 books, you may get several. So up to $25 in books. I have a wooden Coho bookmark that has all of her books listed. That's really cool. I actually tried to buy more, and they don't make them anymore. So
oh man.
Yeah, so it's going to be kind of rare, maybe, in the book community.
Yeah.
And then Bloom's Candle, which is from my candle company, but it's inspired by It Ends With Us, obviously Lily Bloom's flower shop. So it has some floral scents, and so all of that together values $70-$80. So
yeah,
really good giveaway. So be sure to head over to our Instagram. It's really easy to enter. You just have to follow both pages and then
tag some friends.
Share it to some friends, and a bonus entry for putting it on your story. So
yeah,
you can do it in about 5 seconds.
Yeah, super easy, and who doesn't love free books? Like, win-win.
Win-win, absolutely. And it's not just a random book, it's a book that you've been wanting. So the wish list was Tisha's idea, which I thought was a great idea. So you just have to be willing to share your wish list with us, and we won't judge. I don't care what's on your wish list. You just got to share it with us so we can buy them for you. So
yeah, I think that'll be fun.
It will be fun. Yeah, I'm excited. So what are you reading?
Oh, I am still trying to finish up my arc, 13 Years, and Flock. And I'm listening to the Book of Lost Names. I have to pull up the author's name because it is so good. Like, it's kind of Holocaust times. So it's literally about like, I haven't got to like who the list is, whether it's like people that were lost that they knew, like close family members or something, or if it's like survivors. But it's got a really good attention getter at the beginning. So I was like, oh, I love it. Kristen Harmel is the author of that. Yeah. I think it's a newer one. I think I found it on Goodreads.
Love finding new stuff. Just add to the ever-growing TBR. Death by TBR.
Yes.
Her life motto. I am will finish my reread of Verity, and then I kind of have a clean slate. So I need to find something to read, which sometimes for me is really hard because I have so many, I get overwhelmed by the choices.
Yeah.
But I might need like a little fluffy rom-com. I just like to throw those in between thrillers. So we may move to a little fluffy rom-com after.
Did you finish Midnight Feast this week?
Nope.
Last week?
I need to, there's what I need to do. Oh, it's not over here. I've read a lot of it. But the problem is right now, I say this is a problem. This is a great thing for, we say we talk about small business problems on this podcast too. So it's almost my time to shine. Candles in the summer are not that popular. So we mainly sell wax melts and car fresheners. And it's getting to the point where we have some wholesale opportunities that are happening, hundreds, and then also we are in more shows than we've ever done. All of the four biggest events that happen in Northwest Arkansas are 4 weeks in a row, and they're all in October. Yeah. And, I really have to start prepping for that now. That being said, relating this to books, I can bust through some books when I'm making candles, but I have to be listening. So anything that I've started paper, I got to get done, or else I will not have time to read until after Christmas. So, like I said, great problems, but it's about to be insane for me. And no time. So I'll be busting out some audiobooks.
Yeah, I think because we've decided, but we haven't decided. Jerry hasn't said, okay, yes, 100%. So I'll probably just do it and then apologize later. But the magnets, the fridge magnets, I think I'm going to do it. And, leading up to Christmas is like a really big time for that. So
yeah.
Yay.
I think that is good. I don't know anyone around here locally who does that. And they're really great gifts. And even if you think about it, if you got into this is just, we get talking small business and we can just talk all day. But if you got into wedding expos and stuff, I think those are perfect save the dates. I have saved the dates from 3 years ago on my beer fridge that I just put a random magnet on to pop them up. What if it was just a magnet?
Yeah.
Come on, that is genius for save the dates. Everyone puts them on their fridge. I go to anybody's house, I see a save the date, wedding invitation, baby shower, whatever. I see it on somebody's damn fridge. So I was like, that's a huge opportunity. And I mean, for my business, I would buy them. Yeah, it's cost effective. And I would buy them from you to give out to customers for my business. So, every business is going to think like that for marketing materials. And then there's just special, you want one for your 1-year anniversary or, whatever.
Yeah.
I love
so
it.
many uses.
Well, I'm fully shipping this. I'm shipping this.
Okay, I'll remember that in my apology. Lauren said it's good to go.
Lauren said good to go. I'll order some magnets whenever you get it figured out. Just let me know. You have one order guaranteed. We'll get some candle magnets. Anyways, some things going on this week in Northwest Arkansas. Yes. First and foremost, the Tawnytown Grape Fest. If you are NWA local, you know that is voted the best event in Northwest Arkansas every single year. They have actual grape stomping. Tawnytown in general is very Italian. I think it's a lot of Italian Americans or people who migrated here from Italy, and they try to keep their roots in this festival. It's pretty much a fair for anyone who hasn't been. Yeah. It's a fair, but it has spaghetti, vendors, grape stomping, grape ice cream. It's just fun for the whole family. Alcohol, the wine samples from local places.
Free wine samples.
Yeah, free wine samples. It is just the place to go. And the spaghetti dinner is giant for $15 for an adult. Literally, you get fried chicken, a salad, tons of spaghetti. Garlic bread too, right?
Just a roll, but yeah.
Just a roll. And then you get grapes.
Yeah, at the end.
Yeah, at the end you get grapes. Yeah, and they're different. They're not like the grapes you get at Walmart. They're real, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, we were walking out and I was like, do you want some grapes? And Keaton's like, those are blueberries. I was like, no, that's what grapes actually look like when they're fresh grown, not mass produced.
Yeah. I know, if I had them, I was like, they tasted weird. Yeah. They're not bad, I'm just not used to. I expected a green grape from Walmart, But
yeah, they're more
I appreciate the homemade.
Like a red seeded grape. And that's where I think a lot of people don't really love them just because of the seeds.
Yep.
But yeah, we went, we did it a little differently because usually we all four do the spaghetti dinner. We did 2 spaghetti dinners and we got corn dogs and the big corn dogs and fries. And we were all able to get our fill. We were good. And then we also got 2 wineritas from one company and then another winerita because I didn't love mine from another company. And then we got our, of course, grape ice cream. That's like, you have to get grape ice cream if you go to the Grape Festival. Like, we
It's
live for
so
this year
unique.
round.
Yeah, it's so unique.
I will complain though, the rides prices have gotten fucking out of control. It is $32 for a wristband. I'm like, when I
When
was
I
a
was a
kid, it was
kid, it was
like
like 10.
$10. Yeah.
Oh, we're saying the same thing. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, $32. It was 25 last year. And I was like, that's a lot, but compared to buying tickets for each individual ride, not a big deal. But if you have like 4 and 5 kids, how the fuck are you supposed to do that?
That's
I just,
insane.
yeah. And then the
Everything's gone
lines were
up.
astronomical for every single ride.
Yeah.
It was awful. And we went Thursday, so I know it wasn't as busy as like if we had gone Friday or Saturday. Like,
Yeah.
what the hell?
Yeah. Like I said, it's a hopping event. So everyone from within an hour, maybe even
Oh,
further,
yeah.
come to this. So, and it's just
Yeah.
in this like little square. Like parking's insane. Like between like half a mile from it, you're like people are selling their parking lots. Like park
Yeah.
here. But it's worth it to go. It's just
Oh,
once
yeah.
a year. But yeah, you prepared to deal with lines, and usually it's like smoldering heat. We got blessed this week with a little
Oh, yeah.
sneak peek of fall. Like I'm literally wearing a sweater today. It is amazing.
Yeah.
And
I love
I'm
it.
like, I don't want the heat back, but it's you we were actually going to be a vendor this year at the Grape Fest. I was going to make a grape candle. And then I was like, last year I remember sweating my ass off. I was like, no, I'm not putting my candles out in heat for 5 days or whatever. And then
Yeah.
it ended up being cool. I was like, man, I would have sold the shit out of those candles, but
Yeah.
you never know.
Yeah. That's the hardest thing about business is anticipating what will and won't sell, like what events are going to do good. Like, it's all fucking guessing game.
Yep. Just figuring it out, you know?
Yep. Just winging it.
Winging it, yeah. And Tisha went to Lainey Wilson last night. Queen
Yes.
Lainey. How was
Yes.
it?
It was so good. Well, she was good. Zach Top was good. I am not a huge Ian Munsick fan, and I almost died. He did the belt buckle shuffle. I'm
I
sure
love
you know
when
what
he
that
does
is.
that. Oh yeah, he does that.
Jeremy was taking a drink of water and almost choked on it. He was like, "What the fuck is that?"
Did he do it during Cowboy Killer?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like right at the end.
Remember? Yeah, he did that for when he was there for Morgan Wallen 2 years ago when he opened for him. That's the first time I saw it. I died laughing.
Yeah. And then Lainey, so many good songs. And I didn't realize she's from Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I somehow overlooked that. So I was like, we're going to be seeing two artists from Louisiana this week because we saw her last night and then we see Lauren Daigle on Wednesday and she's
Oh,
from
I didn't know
Louisiana
you were
too.
going to that.
Yeah, may or may not be a good decision because it's also the first day of school. I know the kids are going to be exhausted and it's supposed to get hot again next week. So
Yep.
not excited for that.
Yeah, I knew she was from Louisiana only because I heard her talk. And Jesse, the first time he heard her talk, was like, she's making that shit up. Like, there's no way her actual accent is like that. Because it is so thick. Okay,
Thick.
and then, so my family is from Louisiana. So I didn't recognize it I thought, okay, that's got to be like Mississippi.
Yeah.
Like, I was trying to pinpoint it. And so I Googled it, and she's from Louisiana. And I was like, that doesn't sound like my family, but where she's from is just like a different region. But I'm like, it's thick, man. Super thick. It's cute, but
Yeah. She pulled a little girl on stage. She does this thing kind of like Taylor Swift does. Like she gives somebody the cowgirl of the night hat.
Yep.
And she has her like repeat this thing. She's like, I'm beautiful, I'm smart, I'm strong, I'm something else, and I'm the cowgirl of the night. And it was the cutest little girl. I think she said, and so did Jessica, thought she said Gracie was her name, and Lainey heard Swayze. So the little girl was just like looking at her like, what are you talking about? I was like,
that's funny.
It's okay. She's got a lot going on in her ear and there's a lot of noise happening. So, but it was super cute. And then she pulled another girl up on stage. She had a sign, which I've never seen signs at the amp, but I saw a lot of them last night and I was like, this is out of the norm.
Yeah, I think some concerts they don't let signs in. So it must be up to the artist.
That's what I'm thinking. Um, but her sign said like to-do list, beat cancer, and she checked that box, and beat cancer again, check that box, and then meet Lainey and sing with Lainey. And they sang, it was an older song. I can't remember what it was now, but the girl had no idea what it was. And I was like, oh, this is really awkward for everyone.
Oh, yeah.
But she was really cute, and Lainey was so sweet. You could see that she was like telling her something. Obviously, we couldn't hear her, but I'm sure it was really uplifting or just appreciative of her being a fan and wanting to meet her. And it was really sweet.
Yeah, Lainey is like for the kids, man. Like,
Yeah.
I've seen so many TikToks of her like seeing this girl. I don't know if you've seen this one. The girl that got Lainey tickets for her Christmas or something, and she started like hysterically crying, freaking out. So Lainey showed up to her birthday party. Like,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, and got her like a hat, a Lainey hat. I was like, you don't see celebrities do that kind of stuff. And it wasn't even Lainey that posted it. So like she didn't do it for herself. It was like the girl's mom that was posting it and went viral. So I'm like, she could have posted about that and made herself look good, but she didn't. That she just does it for the.
I can appreciate people like that.
Me too. Like, I respect it for sure. So she just seems like a genuine good person. Basically, we want to talk about our girl breaking ray gun.
I've seen a couple videos and I'm just like, okay.
You're gonna have to put these in. I'll send you. I have a ton. Okay, I'll send you out a ton. I went on a freaking binge last night. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, just look up Australian breakdancer, okay? If you look at this girl compared to the other people, which, like, no disrespect to breakdancers, the ones I saw in the Olympics are not like the ones that I saw going to dance competitions growing up, or that you see around outside doing little things for tips. Like, I think the American street dancers are here. I don't know, maybe that's just me being partial, but I just felt, I'm like, how do you judge this? I don't understand. It's a new sport. This is the first Olympic, or it's new sport in this Olympics. It's the first time they're calling it breaking. But anyways, there's this one girl that is gone absolutely viral, and her name is B-Girl Ray Gun, is her dancer name. And she made it to the Olympics. That's great. But there's some memes that my favorite one that I've seen says, so you're telling me after 2 shots of tequila I can be in the Olympics? Done. And then there's another one that's like everybody's 5-year-old nephew after saying, hey, look, watch this.
Yes. Literally, Kaylin has done some of that. She's like, Mom, watch.
I'm not trying to be mean, because girl got a free trip to Paris and got to eat them chocolate muffins that what's-his-face is like freaking out about, but I'm just saying, like,
yeah, it's wild.
Definitely, my toxic trait during the Olympics is looking at these athletes and saying, I could do that, but I genuinely mean it this time. Like, gosh, I'm sorry, I'm laughing so obnoxious. This has got me dying. It's been like a 24-hour. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm literally crying. I'm wiping tears right now.
It's bad, but it's so freaking funny. Like, how can you?
Okay, so I watched some of it live the other day. If you turn it up and hear the music they're dancing to, it's not like it's like classical. It's like classical hip hop. I'm not even kidding. It's not like I was picturing like
Missy Elliott.
NWA. NWA style stuff, like when this was invented, right? Like Americans invented this on the streets with our like kind of, and I'm like, okay, we ain't got none of that in there. And then there's people in the background going like, it's like a dance off, and they're like going at each other, like To our listeners, if you have not looked it up, you're welcome.
Do it.
Do it. Anyways, again, not trying to be mean. I ain't a hater. I appreciate the entertainment. Appreciate it. No matter what your, purpose was for it, you provided the world with lots of entertainment.
So much entertainment for probably years to come.
In a time
we need
of chaos, we need memes and laughter. That's how millennials survive. The other generations think that there's something wrong with us because our humor is so dark, and I say fuck them,
Yeah.
We all have our own coping. We like memes. Okay, should we talk about the movie we went and saw last week? Just a little thing, no big deal.
Yes, I loved it so much.
So we went to a pre-screening. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, we went to a pre-screening of It Ends With Us last week. No, it was this week.
Wednesday. Yeah.
Wednesday. Just a couple of days ago. We dragged our husbands along. Jesse actually left and was like, that was actually a really good movie.
It would have been a lot better if you'd shut up.
I know, he wouldn't shut up. But he was like, that was actually like a good story. And I'm like, yeah, now everything I read is porn, bro. Like, that's what he has in his head. He's like, how bad, before I went in, how bad is this movie? I'm like, it should be rated R. But I don't know if it was or not.
I don't know what last I saw, it wasn't yet rated. So I don't know if that was just because it hadn't technically come out yet or.
Yeah, I don't know. But all in all, we were worried about the wardrobe. We'll talk about it with no spoilers to the actual book or the movie.
It is rated
could all be seen.
PG-13.
Okay, I feel like that's
none of the stuff that happens in the book as far as sexual is like what's depicted in the movie.
Yeah. I will say, like, we were really worried on the wardrobe. It was weird, but they made it work. What did you think?
Yeah. It wasn't really even noticeable. Like, she's just wearing clothes. It's not like, oh, this is my outfit and I'm standing out. Like, other than the coveralls at the very beginning. Like,
yeah, which all of Book Talk and Bookstagram has complained about the coveralls with the high heels at the beginning. That's the only one that gave me, like, super... The rest of them, like, she wears a coat or something that's goes over nicer, but she, like, takes them off. It's, like, it's not detrimental to the movie whatsoever. Like, I feel like it was fine. And then in an interview, we read that most of the clothes were hers or Gigi's, Hadid's.
Yes.
And, like, the sparkly boots, which you guys could see this in the trailer, this isn't a spoiler, are actually her boots. And I'm like, she must have bought those to go to her bestie Taylor Swift's concert. Because it just looks like
that's what I was thinking, outfit. Yeah. Looks like it literally, we're sitting in the theater. I was like, those look like Taylor's boots.
Yeah. And I wanted our theater, my only complaint, I wanted our theater to be a little more interactive. Like, you and I started some clapping and some stuff, and there was some, but I feel like it should have been more. Like, when she first sees Atlas, like, we were like... But anyways, yeah, no, all in all, we both very much enjoyed the book. But
yes, very good. Loved it. Everybody go watch it. It's better with a girl gang, but it's also just really good. I cried a lot, like the last half of it.
Yeah, Jesse looked around the theater and said, my wife's the only one in this bitch that's not crying. And I was like, she's got a cold ass heart. I'm a crier, but it usually is like a dog.
Yeah.
If something happens to a dog, I'm fucking done, man.
Yeah.
But In movies, I cry in books more than movies for some reason.
There's a lot more detail, I feel like, in books that like
Mhm.
makes you connected to the character.
Yeah, I agree. There was one Nicholas Sparks book one time that just sent me. I don't even remember which one it was, but it had something to do with cancer.
Was it the last song?
Mm-mm. It's not a movie yet. It's one of his newer ones.
Oh, okay. I don't think I've
Um,
read
it
any.
had the cover has a boat with lights on it. The Wish.
Maybe.
It might be The Wish. Yeah. No, it was really good. Like Nicholas Sparks is very vanilla. If you want some spice, don't read his books. But as far as like good writing and creative plots, I think he's great for that. Should we get into our meat and potatoes here?
Yeah, let's start with spoiler alert. If you haven't read Verity, stop here and come back when you've read it, unless you don't care about spoilers. Some people don't, and that's fine.
Yeah, we're gonna spoil the shit out of it, so
And
beware.
then triggers, child abuse, child death, was it domestic
We can
violence?
we'll throw it in there just in case.
Yeah. And kind of gruesome death
Yeah,
right out the gate. So
first page.
yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's triggers. And also just throwing this out there. If you have read Verity and you have not read The Wife Upstairs by either Frida McFadden or Rachel Hawkins or The Housemaid, no need. You read it all in Verity, pretty much.
And we confirmed before we started this. We looked at the release dates for all these books. Verity was the first one. So
Yep. So people talking about her not being creative, suck it.
yeah,
Because other
this
people are
is
stealing her shit.
yeah. And I'm not a. I'm kind of a Frida hater, anyways. Which I'm sure we'll cover the housemaid and everything else at some point. So I'll get to
Yeah.
blab about that a little bit more. But I'm just like, not one but two copybooks. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, um, we this is for both of us the book that got us into the cult, really.
Yeah.
So it's funny, the first time I told Tisha before we started recording, the first time I read this, I was like, ooh, spicy. And now I'm like 3 years later and I've read dark romances. I'm like, oh, this is maybe too chili peppers.
I
uh
yeah, I would even maybe say one. Like this
yeah.
ain't shit compared to some of the romantic stuff.
Yeah, I mean it's just some severe dick sucking and headboard biting. I mean, we're not even choking. We're not I mean, guys,
There's
this
no
is
bondage. Like
there's no bondage. There's no like chasing through the woods. There's no kidnapping. Like,
there's not even anal.
yeah. True. But if you like dick sucking, this is the book for you.
Or like fade to black.
Or yeah, for or biting headboards, which we'll talk about. So this book, I had started listening to books again. I had started listening, but Verity was the one that got me like in, just from a recommendation from a coworker. And then Tisha, we talked about this on our intro that she asked for some book recommendations, and Verity happened, and so now we are both in a cult. We have a podcast and a book club. So
Yeah.
and a never-ending TBR. So we in it, y'all. We in it.
Deep.
Deep. Rooted. So, anyways, the first bit of Verity. We've talked about coho attention getters. What do you think this one? This one might be the best, right?
Yeah, she ate with this one.
She ate, girl ate. Yeah. So, blood, skull crushing, life lesson. Don't play on your phone and walk in Newark traffic.
Oh, for sure.
Beat,
And
motherfucker. 50 points.
And don't wear white to an interview. Maybe.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Yeah, or else some handsome stranger's gonna have to give you a shirt. That would be terrible.
Oh, man.
Anyways, so that's how we start. We also start with this is something I noted, that the women's names in this are both very uncommon. I'm not going to say they're bad or weird. They're just uncommon. Like, I had never heard of the name Verity or Lowen before this book. Lowen is how people say my name. Like, little kids say my name when they can't talk right. So, I just thought that was funny to note. But anyways, Coho does it again with an attention getter. But also, I wanted to point out this is kind of a theme with ugly truths, because she actually says in the beginning, ugly truths, when they're like, after the blood splatter, they're in the bathroom together and telling strangers on the first meeting like random crazy personal things.
Yeah.
I could never imagine that, but
not unless I have alcohol in me. Just to get past the awkward, like kind of surface level small talk. Sometimes I will get a little too personal. Just to kind of give them a taste of if they want to actually have a conversation with me.
No TMI here, my friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it with alcohol. Like, I'm pretty sure I've gone on drunken rants to strangers at a bar before. But stone cold sober at 8 a.m. or whatever time this is, I'm not going to just like, oh yeah, by the way, I had 2 children die, and then Lowen says, I lost my mom last week.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's so wild.
Maybe they both just needed to get it out and thought they would never see each other again. And they're like, the best way for me to talk about this is a random stranger. That's kind of my thought. But the point is, it's a theme.
Yeah, and just kind of the trauma of it. Like they're bonded by that, so they're like, okay, we have this shared experience. We both suffered traumatic losses.
Recently.
Yeah.
Okay. So, obviously, walk into the meeting. Who is there other than this handsome stranger? Wow, didn't see that coming.
Not at all.
Sorry, I'm very sarcastic today. I don't know why. And by the way, people, this is my favorite book ever. So my sarcasm is just generally my personality. I'm not hating, because I love this book. Yeah. This is a 10 out of 10 for me. Okay, so this meeting happens. He has offered her to finish Verity Crawford's famous thriller series. And she's kind of like a nobody author. Broke. Anyways, work it out. It was kind of the first red flag for me when he's like, you need to just come stay at our house.
Yeah, like, and even she is like, is this smart? Is this smart for me to do this? Like, just go spend
at a stranger's house.
Time at a stranger's house. Going through the things, like, to read her older books and, like, get a feel for her writing. Like, no. It's fucking wild.
I get going there and working in her office and going through her notes and then like staying at asking them to pay for a hotel nearby so she could like commute or whatever. I also get her financial situation. I think that plays into a part. She was desperate. Like she was broke. She got evicted or she had like a day. Like she had to be out. And the other thing to note was Corey, her like ex-lover / agent. Yeah. He was like alarmed by this and he just gives the type of vibes like no fucks given. Like he didn't even give a shit that her mom died, pretty much. Yeah. And I'm like, was this foreshadowing for like red flags, or was this like him being jealous because he's like, oh, this guy's like successful, handsome, and like I just was like, which way do we take that? It probably could be taken both ways. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. A little bit of both. Yeah. So she notices the teeth marks when she gets to the house. Mm-hmm. Obviously she finds out later why. And she gets in the office and finds this manuscript. Mm-hmm. The manuscript. Okay, so we're bouncing back and forth between real life and Verity's point of view on her life. And I wanted to mention like the love at first sight for Verity and Jeremy. Like it was very insta love, I felt like. And I didn't expect with my first read for this to be like stole the dress, he lied about the limo. Like I kind of laughed at the limo scene. I thought it was funny. But
Yeah.
like it just wasn't when you're reading this book and you're like, oh, this successful author, this like hot successful husband, like this giant house in what, Connecticut or wherever they are. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember
They
where
live
they are.
away
New
from
York?
New York. And
Yeah.
I'm like, this is how they started. Interesting. I didn't expect it.
Yeah, it was very kind of picturesque. It almost gave me Gone Girl vibes, like with the author and then like a party, and they kind of are just drawn to each other, and then they're both very much wearing a mask. I felt
Oh,
like.
100%. And then they see each other's masks taken off, and they're like even more into it.
Yeah. It's like, okay, I'm here for it.
Yeah. So, anyways, we flash back to real life, and Lowen's broke and ends up having to stay longer. And Jeremy's like, oh, you just stay here in the master bedroom for 2 weeks until the deposit hits your, or the whatever hits your account. And it's
Yeah.
like, so what? Okay, I want to know the first read. Okay, this is like my third time reading, maybe fourth.
Yeah.
First read, what were your initial thoughts when Lowen started to see strange things that led her to think Verity might not be as hopeless as everyone thinks? Like this is the one that really made me think. When the nurse came down and said, I left the TV on, blah, 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 she goes back up there and the TV's off.
Yeah, I immediately thought it was going to be like a thriller, and I was like, is she in on it? Is this some ploy to get her there so they can murder her? Or I didn't know. I was like, what the fuck is happening?
I definitely immediately thought she's faking it. I will say
Yeah.
that. Like I did see that, but I agree with you. I kind of had the thought that it was some sort of plot to like either maybe Verity had writer's block and they wanted to like use her, and then Verity was going to make this miraculous recovery, and then they were going to finish the books. Like that's kind of what I thought.
Yeah, I could see that.
But yeah, I definitely immediately was not trying to think like, oh, she's just seeing. Like immediately, I run enough thrillers. I'm like, yeah, no, she's alive. She's fine. She's fine.
Trust your own eyes more than anything else.
100%. Verity, we have to talk about Verity getting pregnant and just how she's a despicable excuse for a human being in this manuscript. The things she says, I can't imagine even Colleen Hoover cooking this up in her mind to put this in a book. Being a mother. I'm not even a mother, and I want to cry.
Fucked up. Yeah.
My first read, I almost quit at the coat hanger scene.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about it in depth because I just don't love it. But I literally was at work listening to this, and I had a friend who was listening to it too. I looked at her, I was like an hour or two ahead of her, and I was like, I can't finish this book. I cannot do this. So that's where the trigger warning for child abuse comes in for probably like the first time.
Yeah.
Anyways, and at this point, Lowen is like, this bitch is fucked up.
Yeah.
And she's trying to justify reading the manuscript to herself. Like, you're hearing her, like, internal monologue. Like, I need to get in her head to finish these books. Like, what do you think? She just was curious and that was her excuse? Or
I think it was a little bit of both. Like, she wanted to kind of feel that connection, but she was also very curious as to, like, how they got from being so happy in the beginning, kind of like Layla. They were so happy in the beginning to, this is really fucked up. How did you get here?
How did you get here? Yeah. And then she sees Jeremy in real life, like being the kind of man that Verity describes in this. So I'm sure in her head she's like, how can this bitch do this to this like angel of a man from her point of view?
Yeah.
So she continues to justify it, writing, reading, whatever. There's starting to be some sexual tension between Lowen and Jeremy. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
The crib scene. This is the second time I almost quit this book. Thankfully, Jeremy walks in before she can successfully murder
Her child. Yeah.
her child. Verity has this moment of, I only like one of these kids. I hated both of them, but I've decided that I love one of them, and the other one is going to be the death of that one, so I'm going to try to kill it. Like,
what the fuck?
What the fuck is all you can say to that.
Yeah.
And in her head, she's justifying it. This is mother's premonition. I know this child is going to kill the other one. Jeremy catches on one day and she saves it, but is like, why do you only talk about Chasten?
Yeah.
Like, loses it, throws shit. He never loses his temper like that. And all she cares about is having sex with this man. I don't even think she really likes him.
No, it's like the conquest. She just wants, even though she's had it, she just wants to keep getting it.
She is psycho obsessed with him. So, crib scene. After that, not long after that, we get Lowen and Jeremy's first kiss, where Lowen sees Verity out of her bed for the first time.
Yeah, I probably would have packed up and left right then. Like, you cannot convince me. I didn't see someone standing there. Like, I don't care. What does he even say?
So he doesn't necessarily make her think she's crazy, but he actually goes and checks the room, which I feel like compared to these other books, like he's like, there's a part of him that doubts it.
Yeah.
And at this point, she doesn't know that he has read the manuscript and like he knows all this. She thinks he doesn't know how big of a piece of shit she is. So that's why, in my opinion, like looking back, I think, oh, he actually checked because he's like, this bitch is fucking crazy. We didn't mention this earlier, we've already lost a knife. Mommy's knife. Crew makes all these comments like he talks to his mommy in the present tense. We think we've seen her in the window. Now we see her in person. I agree. I would have been barefoot with my shirt off from that makeout sesh running out the fucking door.
Yeah. Ugh.
But she's Delulu, okay? Full on
Very.
Delulu. So at this point, you believed for sure like Verity was not sick.
Yeah, totally faking it, and she's got some sort of master plan going on.
Yeah, like there's a diabolical plan in her head, and at this point, I'm like, okay, what is it? I still am convinced, first read, that they were trying to exploit Lowen in some way, or use her, or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we finally get Lowen and Jeremy to get together. When she bit the headboard where Verity had bit because she wanted to bite it harder and better, it did give me the ick, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, so ick. Ugh.
Like, the headboard is mentioned, y'all. If you haven't read this book and you're just listening to support us, we appreciate you. But the headboard's mentioned, like, all the time, okay?
Times.
The bite marks on the headboard are mentioned a lot. So.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, that was like one of my icks. Then we have Chasten dying from the peanut allergy at the friend's house. I genuinely believe this one was an accident. I do not think it was the other child.
No.
Verity is convinced that it is.
Yeah. Why would, I don't know. I've seen some stories of some really fucked up kids, but I don't think this one is that. Like, I just don't.
Yeah, I just think Verity is
so
mentally
Delulu.
Unstable, very Delulu, and just, I think she did have a mother's premonition or intuition that she was going to lose her child, which in real life, that has happened. Like, people know. It's weird, but people do, that. I've heard of that. And I think that she knew that, and she needed somewhere to place the blame because she couldn't emotionally handle it without blaming someone. That makes sense.
Yeah. But also, I don't know. I feel like if your child has that severe of an allergy, you don't leave them at a party by themselves. Like, no.
I mean, like, they say in there, oh, they stay over there all the time. She's very aware of the allergy, and they keep the peanuts away. And I'm like, if I had a child that I knew had a severe peanut allergy, I, number one, wouldn't let them stay the night anywhere. Their friends could always come to our house. But if they did stay anywhere, I would make sure that there was no peanuts in that entire fucking house. Whereas that mom's like, we put him out of reach. Well, kids can get fucking up. I used to crawl on the counters and shit. Like, that's what happened. They got the snacks.
Yeah, like my kids don't go anywhere, and I just can't imagine sending one with such a severe allergy off to a birthday party and just think it's okay. Like,
Yeah,
no.
yeah,
And
no,
it's like,
not
why
okay.
wasn't there an EpiPen or just, I don't know, so many ways this could have been prevented.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, for sure. So blaming the child, honestly, if she wanted to blame anyone, it should have been the parent of the person's house they were staying at
Yeah,
for, they snuck off in the middle of the night, whatever, but they shouldn't have had it to where the kids could have gotten to it, period.
no,
Because kids are kids, right? Like,
yeah,
my husband last night brought like 6 snacks to bed, and when I got up this morning, I had to take all the wrappers, throw them away from the side of the bed. Like, people are gonna be snacking, okay? Like,
yeah,
you need to be prepared.
yeah.
Anyways, so we have Chasten dies, and Verity waits 6 months to the day and then drowns their other daughter. But she's theatrical, man. She played that up. She set it up so that the little boy would be like, Mommy's trying, Mommy's trying. So crew would be on her side. Shirley almost threw up at this part.
Yeah, I was fucking sick. And she knew that it would make Jeremy feel better because she's spending time with the kids. She's not just grieving, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
And he should have been almost back from his grocery store run. Like,
Yeah.
so many fucking things that a demented mind would go through to plan that out, and she fucking did it.
I literally put a note next to this part and I said, OMG, I do not know why I like this book. LOL.
Yeah, it's
Literally,
pretty fucked
that's
up, like all the way through.
So anyways, then we get to the goods, right? Jeremy and Lowen, finally Jeremy's on board. I'm gonna say that. Jeremy's on board, and we get the end of Verity's reign in a
fucked up way.
In a fucked up way. The capability of Jeremy to do this to his wife kind of was my first, like, okay. But then you think about what he's been through. And I would kill someone for fucking with my dog. So this man has lost 2 children, wasted years of his life. His other child is fucked up, as we learn later on. I think Crew's a little fucking weirdo.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
So, I mean, I can imagine someone being capable of almost anything when it comes to losing loved ones. I mean, you're a mom. I guarantee you could fuck somebody up for messing with your children.
Easy.
Yeah,
no
without even blinking.
Nope.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's how I was justifying Jeremy's ability to do this.
Yeah.
Lowen, I get it. Like, she feels threatened, so like it's more for her life. I guess
Mhm.
Jeremy's life too. Really. I mean, she's obsessed with him, but you can't predict people with the mindset like hers. You never know what she's gonna do. Anyways, and then we get the letter.
Yeah.
The letter.
That fucked me up.
That fucked me up. Okay, so here's the deal. I was like, fuck Verity, could be how this book ends, and it be done. But Colleen was like, nah, fam.
Nah.
How about we just make you second guess your entire existence on this planet?
Yeah.
So, before we talk about the bonus chapter, what team are you? Letter or manuscript?
I don't know. It's all so fucked up.
Yeah.
I think letter. I was manuscript for so long, but after
before the bonus chapter,
rereading it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think letter.
Okay, I'm manuscript. Verity's a psycho bitch. And I think the letter was a last-ditch effort to try to make herself look better than she was.
Yeah, I could see it. And yeah, I thought that for so long, but then like rereading it and seeing more of the details, I'm like, I see his red flags and more of his kind of controlling nature and just the way he like put things in place. Just wild.
Yeah. And the other point here is when she says in the letter, like, does any woman really like sucking that much dick? And That was the only part that made me think like,
Hmm.
But
maybe she's not fucking psycho.
Maybe she's not psycho. I mean, it checks out. So, anyways, yeah, so before this bonus chapter, I was, well, die hard Team Manuscript, and I would fight anyone who disagreed with me.
Yeah.
But, spoilers, okay, y'all. We didn't talk about this at the beginning. If you have not gotten the gold edition of Verity and read the extended chapter that has like the 30 pages for after this book, either are you about to get spoiled or go away and come back.
Yeah.
Okay? I think you can probably find it on Reddit too. But gold book, this is the regular edition. There's a gold edition that has 30 extra pages. You've been warned. Okay. After reading the additional chapter, I'm like, maybe they're all fucking psycho. That's what I changed it to. I think Verity is fucking psycho for no matter what. Even if she's right in the letter, faking an injury for months like that, fucking psycho. I don't care how scared. I don't care. Like, faking an injury for that long is psycho. Whether you killed your kid or not, okay? Or tried to kill both of them in the womb, and anyways. But Jeremy, the first red flag was how easily he could kill Verity. Now we're like, we killed a stranger just for seeing us on the beach.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
He didn't have to kill her. Everyone knew they were fucking before Verity died, and now Verity dies. Verity was in terrible health. Like, there was no question, no big deal. Like, she was in a terrible car accident. I don't think there would have been anything out of it. Why did he kill her? He wanted to.
Yeah,
I know he fucking hated her. It's a control thing. He hated her from, like, the very first grocery store incident that we see, like, at the beginning, middle of the book, maybe. Like, when they go to Target and they see her there, and he's, like, calls her husband the wrong name, and Lowen's like, who's that? And it's like, oh, that's the guy she's fucking. But I did that. And she was like, that was, like, the ultimate burn I've ever, which I loved that. I'm not gonna lie. I thought that was great, but it kind of made me think. Yeah, it made me think they're all crazy. Or maybe everything that he has been through made him crazy. So maybe it is the manuscript's right, but now he's fucking Looney Tunes.
There's no way to know.
And that's the thing about this book. It's open to interpretation, motherfuckers. We don't know. We don't know. Colleen, tell us.
Yeah.
As far as I know, there is not going to be another one. And as far as I know, there is a movie.
Yes.
We're not going to know any more with the movie. The movie is confirmed, has a script, and the casting decisions were supposedly made this week.
Ooh.
Yeah, Colleen said that in an interview on the red carpet for It Ends With Us.
Oh, wow.
They have a list. They're narrowing down the casting. She said she wanted Brandon, who plays Atlas, to play every character. I'm like, I could see him as Jeremy. He would be a good Jeremy.
But then it would be so sad to see him just, like...
not be sweet Atlas.
Yeah. To be so fucked up.
Jeremy needs to be, like, tall, dark, and handsome, and Verity needs to be a fucking bombshell. Oh my god! What if it's Margot Robbie for Verity? She's blonde. That would be fucking perfect.
Yes.
Okay, who's Lowen? Does Lowen have dark hair?
I don't know.
Let me Google it. Hang on.
I feel like she does just because it was a contrast, but who knows?
I agree. Yeah, dark hair. Okay. Oh, a lot of people are saying Lily James from Mamma Mia. You know who she is? Or she plays the live-action Cinderella.
Oh.
Because Lowen's supposed to be pretty, too.
Yeah. Oh, she's also in Baby Driver. I loved Baby Driver.
Oh, yeah, Baby Driver's so good. I forgot she was in Baby Driver.
I could see her as...
Okay, who's our Jeremy?
All dark and handsome.
In his
yeah.
He's got dark hair. But like, he works on the house and works outside a lot, so we've got to have some, like, country boy strength.
I don't know.
I don't either. Just find any creepy 5-year-old and you have crew.
Yeah.
Oh, you know who would be a good Jeremy? Did you watch Pretty Little Liars? Okay, you'll know him from this. 50 Shades, the last one. The Bodyguard.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a good one.
He was in
Yeah, I
Pretty
can see
Little
that.
Liars as well. Interesting. Well, I'm sure as soon as the castings, we knew that It Ends With Us cast like 2 years ago, I feel like. Or at least a year.
Yeah.
So once they figure it out, I bet we'll know.
Yeah. I'm just ready. And I hope it stays as true to the book as It Ends With Us did. And maybe has a little more spice. I hope it's rated R.
Yeah. No matter what, if they keep the child abuse in there, it'll have to be rated R, I feel like. So,
yeah, so fucked up.
It'll have to be. If it's not rated R, I don't want to go watch it because they're not going to be true to the book. Just being honest. Like, to be true to the book, you have to be rated R. So.
Maybe they can get it done in like the next 6 months and we'll get to see, if we go to Book Bonanza, we can get to see it early like everybody did with It Ends With Us.
Seriously? When is Book Bonanza?
It's usually in June.
Okay.
I have been checking every couple weeks and I haven't seen that tickets have gone on sale for 2025 yet. So I'm like, are we doing this or what's happening? Like,
it's in Dallas, right?
Yeah, it's at the Gaylord.
Cool. Okay. And a lot of authors that we follow, were there, so it'd be like one-stop shop for all the faves.
Yeah, like all of them.
But I guess we'll keep y'all posted on any Verity movie updates that we see. But I don't have anything else. You have anything else?
I don't think so. What are we doing next week?
I don't know. What do you want to do?
Do you want to do like the rundown of all of the rest of the Colleen Hoover books that we didn't love and kind of why?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. That way we can be like done, completely wrapped up with Colleen Hoover.
Yep. Sounds great to me.
Jeez, I did not get enough sleep after that concert.
I bet you didn't, and we have a meeting in a couple of hours, so
we have book club.
You can get your little what is it? Fruit Loop. I'm getting what you got. Last time, it was so much better than my coffee.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you call it? Fruity Pebble, Fruity Chew? I don't know what he called it. It was some funny name.
It's something FOMO, but it tasted exactly like Fruity Pebbles.
It's like milk. The milk when you finish the cereal and you drink the milk. That's what I got.
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah, so go follow our socials, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube, open booked, and enter the giveaway. And that's it. Subscribe to our Spotify channel so you get early content and you get bonus content too. So some stuff we kind of dive deeper on.
Subscribe if you like conspiracy theories.
Yeah, for sure. Because we'll have a lot more of that probably.
Yes.
In the next few months. All right. I think that's it. We'll talk to you guys later.
Bye, y'all.